Chapter 3. The wasteland stretches before me, a jagged tableau of ash-gray rock and suffocating silence. My breath plumes in the frigid air, each exhale a ragged gasp as I stumble forward, my bare feet shredded and bleeding, leaving smears of iridescent black against the sterile ground. Boots lost days ago, or was it weeks? Time blurred here, a fevered dream of hunger and thirst. The horizon curves unnaturally, too sharp, too perfect, as if the sky has been folded into a dome. I had seen this geometry before in the lab, etched on Ralph's blueprints. Fractal containment grids, he had called them, designed to trap organic matter in recursive patterns. I do not notice at first. My focus is on the drones. They emerge from the haze like mechanical vultures, their angular bodies gliding soundlessly until they descend. The whirring begins as a low hum, then crescendos into a high-pitched whine that vibrates in my molars. Memories surface unbidden, Jake's voice strained through static. They are not just trackers, Lil, they are harvesters. You have seen what they do to the others. I push the thought away. Survival first. Memories of Jake later. A jagged outcrop looms ahead, basalt columns stacked like broken teeth. Hike smarter, not harder, Jake had taught me during our weekend treks. I veer toward it, the raw pads of my feet screaming with every step. My toes catch on a hexagonal stone, its edge slicing a fresh gash. I bite back a cry. Blood pools, black and glittering. Not human, not anymore, but pain is still pain. What have they done to me? I dare a glance back and regret it instantly. 3 drones, their obsidian surfaces reflecting no light, their single crimson lens focused on me. Hunters, I think. They were always hunters. But these are different. Larger, their wings serrated like surgical tools. IX models, my mind supplies, though I cannot recall how I know. My lungs burn. My heartbeat thunders in my ears, drowning out all but the primal scream of my own terror. I duck behind the basalt column, pressing my back to its cold surface. The rock hums faintly, charged with energy. Another grid node. Ralph's maze tightening its grip. My fingers trace the gash on my foot, already clotting too fast. Nanites, always fixing, always watching. A memory flickers, steam rising from a clawfoot tub, lavender oil swirling in the water. Our apartment, the night before the fire. I had sunk into the heat until my skin pruned, Jake's laughter muffled through the door as he burned dinner. Now, the phantom warmth taunts me. God, what I would give for that scalding soak, to scrub the wasteland's dust from my pores, to feel human again. The ground shifts beneath me, a geometric outcropping of hexagonal stones, unnaturally uniform, and I trip, catching myself on hands that scrape against edges too sharp to be natural. Blood wells from my palm, black as oil. Wrong. Human blood should not shimmer like that. When I look up, the drones are closer, their movements synchronized, relentless. A dart whistles past my ear, then another. I pivot, using the basalt's jagged profile as cover. Move in zigzags, use the terrain, Jake's voice clear as if he were beside me. But the drones anticipate me, fanning out in a triangulated kill pattern. The third shot finds its mark. The dart hits my neck like a kiss from a venomous spider. Cold spreads from the puncture, swift and venomous. My legs buckle, bones melting into liquid. I think of Jake again, really think the way he had twirled me in the kitchen the night before the fire, laughing as pasta boiled over. We will get out of this city, he had promised. Start fresh. Now I would never know if he had meant it. I collapse, my cheek pressed against the sterile ground, my bare feet twitching uselessly, like a bug pinned to a board. My last coherent thought, the bathwater was blue. Why do I not remember it being blue? Yet my mind remains horrifyingly alert, a trapped insect in amber. The drones circle, their lenses pulsing red, as if savoring my helplessness. My legs turn to liquid, but my mind screams, trapped in a body that is no longer my own. The world tilts. One drone lands beside me, its clawed appendage hovering near my face. Its surface is not smooth. Up close, I see minuscule grooves like the whorls of a fingerprint. Human DNA fused with machine. Ralph's life's work. I try to flinch to beg, but my voice is gone. The machine emits a series of clicks, a language I cannot decipher, before the others join it in a cacophony of mechanical screeches. They are communicating, reporting. My vision blurs. The basalt columns warp into tiled walls, steam rising from an imaginary tub. So close. I could almost dip my bleeding feet into the water, watch the nanites swirl down the drain. But the hallucination fractures, replaced by Ralph's voice, crisp and clinical. Discomfort is the price of evolution, my dear. Through the haze, I notice the ground again, too smooth, too purposeful. A memory fractures through, Ralph's hands adjusting a hologram, his voice lecturing. True control requires theater, my dear. Even rats fight harder when they think the maze is real. The rocks, the horizon, the air itself, it is all a construct. A simulation. A cage. The last thing I see before darkness swallows me is the lead drone tilting its head, its lens narrowing as if in recognition. Or mockery. Or both. Then, a whisper in my skull, mechanical, yet horribly intimate. Welcome home, Iteration 1. Chapter 4, The Dollhouse. I wake to the scent of lavender. It is the first thing I notice, sweet, cloying, wrong, not the earthy warmth of my mother's perfume, but a sterile imitation, like flowers dipped in antiseptic. The smell clings to the back of my throat, a chemical aftertaste that reminds me of the lab's cleaning drones, those faceless machines that scrubbed the floors after each termination protocol. My mother hated lavender. Smells like funeral homes, she would say, planting marigolds instead. Another flaw in the diorama. My eyelids flutter open to a canopy of soft light filtering through gauzy curtains. The fabric sways, too rhythmically, as if timed to the room's pulsing walls. The bed beneath me is plush, piled with a quilt stitched in sunflower patterns, its fabric scratchy against my skin. Each stitch is flawless, the seams military straight. No human hands made this. A machine's idea of imperfection. A mahogany vanity sits across the room, topped with a porcelain hairbrush and a crystal perfume bottle. Home, my exhausted mind whispers, but the walls betray the lie. They glow. Faint panels line the room, emitting a clinical blue-white light that pulses rhythmically, like a heartbeat. The tempo quickens as I sit up, 74 BPM, 78, 82 mirroring my rising panic. They are not just lights, they are biometric feed. The rhythm matches my own. I count 73 BPM, too precise, a number I had once celebrated. Baseline stability, Ralph had called it during my first neural calibration. Perfect for memory integration. The contrast is grotesque, floral wallpaper peeling at the edges, yet beneath it, glimpses of seamless steel. Steel I had helped design, alloy 47B, corrosion-resistant, perfect for containing organic matter. A fireplace crackles merrily in the corner, but the flames are holographic, their warmth non-existent. I reach out a hand, the air stays cold. This is not home, homes have dust, smells, life. This is a diorama, a lie. I sit up, vertebrae popping. My body feels lighter, wrong, no ache in my right knee from the old bike accident. They have fixed me, I realize, or replaced me. The wasteland chase floods back, the drones, the dart, the paralyzing venom, but the memories are already fraying. Instead, fragments intrude. Jake's voice, rough with sleep. You are working too hard, Lil. A flash of his face, half-lit by the glow of my laptop. He had left a thermos of coffee on the counter, steam curling into the air. Do not forget to eat, he had written on the note beside it. I remember the thermos, red enamel, chipped near the base. When I had picked it up, the coffee inside had gone cold. How many hours had I worked? How many nights had he left before dawn? The memory dissolves into smoke. Then the fire. Not the wasteland's sterile cold, but heat. Alarms blaring, glass shattering. A hand Ralph's, pulling me backward as flames consumed the lab's curtains. I had screamed, but the sound was drowned out by the roar. Or had I? Now the memory plays silently, like a corrupted video file. Another flicker, myself, years younger, gloved hands adjusting a synaptic mapper. My lab, my breakthrough. Ralph's voice crackling through a speaker. The hippocampus is the key, Lily. If we can encode memories there, we can rebuild identities. I had laughed then, drunk on discovery, unaware I was building my own cage. I shake my head, disoriented. The perfume bottle on the vanity glints. I stumble toward it, drawn by the lie of familiarity. The floorboards creak too authentic. Real wood warps, these grown on cue like actors in a play. The lavender scent is stronger here, clogging my throat. I unscrew the cap, inhale, and gag. Synthetic. The vanity mirror is antique, its frame carved with roses. But when I lean closer, the glass ripples like water. A touchscreen. Voice command recognized. Welcome, subject I. I recoil, knocking over the perfume. It shatters, liquid pooling like blood. The smell intensifies, rotten beneath the sweetness. Decomposition masked by perfume. How many times had this scene played out? The mirror freezes, then flickers back to a normal reflection, except for the mark on my lower back. The Roman numeral I is still there. Tiny, precise, etched into my skin like a stamp. My own handwriting flashes in my mind, notes from a decade ago, crisp and eager. Roman numerals minimize data corruption, ideal for iteration tracking. I had suggested it. I had branded myself. I claw at it, nails raking until blood beads. The blood is wrong again, thick, iridescent. Nanites, I realize. Ralph's signature, my signature. The serum was my design too, meant to repair neural pathways. Not this. Never this. The pain is sharp, real, but the mark does not fade. It is inside me, a part of my genetic code. Authorization required for medical override. The mirror drones. I stumble back, tripping over a rug that is too perfectly placed. Beneath it, the floor is cold metal. I press my ear to it, a distant hum like machinery or voices. The room shifts. The fireplace dims. The walls' glow intensifies. The heartbeat rhythm spikes, 89 BPM. They are watching. This is not home. Homes have dust, smells, life. This is a diorama, a lie. The thought loops as I pace, cataloging contradictions. The bookshelf is stocked with titles I have never read, all spines uncracked. Except one, Wuthering Heights, its pages dog-eared at chapter 9. My favorite passage, underlined, I am Heathcliff. But the ink is fresh. My handwriting, but sharper, someone else. The closet holds clothes in my size, but the tags are missing. I tear at a seam, microscopic circuitry woven into the fabric. Surveillance. Threads I had developed for military uniforms, now stitching me into a prison. A framed photo on the nightstand shows me laughing at a beach, except I have never been to that beach, and the face in the photo is mine, but sharper, colder. The timestamp reads 6/15/2031, 2 years I cannot account for, or 2 years someone else lived. A chime sounds, the door clicks open. I freeze. Ralph steps in, holding a tray of steaming soup. His lab coat is immaculate, but I spot a stain near the cuff, reddish-brown. Blood, my blood. The heartbeat panels flare, 94 BPM. His smile is gentle, paternal. Ah, you are awake. I was worried you would sleep through dinner. Where am I? My voice cracks. Safe, he says, placing the tray on the vanity. The spoon clinks against the bowl, real silver. Too valuable for a lab. A trophy, I think. From another prisoner. The mirror's earlier message echoes, Subject II, activation in 72 hours. You had an accident. The facility's security measures can be overzealous. Why can I not leave? His smile does not waver. The walls pulse slower now, 62 BPM. He is calming the room, calming me. Medical precautions. That serum you were given. You are lying. The room's temperature drops. The heartbeat spikes, 101 BPM. Ralph's eyes flick to the wall, then back. He is reading me. He adjusts his glasses, a tick. I have seen him do it 1,283 times. Wait, how do I know that? Because I had coded his avatar in the simulation trials, replicating every mannerism. I built this prison's architect. Lily, you have always been so curious, but some doors are locked for a reason. He gestures to the barcode on my back. You are special, a masterpiece. Why else would I save you? Save me from what? He leans closer. His breath smells of mint and something metallic, cryogenic fluid. He has been in the preservation chamber again. I had designed that too, a pod to pause cellular decay. For organ donors, I had told the ethics board. Lies. From death, my dear, I saved your life. Do you not remember? A memory detonates, my own hands, gloved and steady, injecting a solution into a rat skull. Subject 0.1. The creature spasmed, then stilled. It is ready, I had told Ralph. The memory implantation works. He had smiled, same as now. We will change the world, he had said, and we had. I remember building your tools, I hiss. The neural mappers, the serum, you are using them to erase me. The heartbeat monitor screams, 110 BPM. Alarms blare, not from the walls but inside my skull. Ralph does not flinch. He taps his temple, a gesture I recognize, my gesture, from late night's debugging code. Anger affects the treatment, you should know that, he says softly. Your cells cannot handle the strain, not yet. He nods to the soup. Eat, the nutrients will stabilize you. Treatment? I laugh, raw and broken. You mean you are testing my memory research on me? How many prisoners are you doing this to? Just how much of a psycho are you? His glasses fog with his exhale. Attell, the first crack in his facade. You are evolving, he corrects. Each trial improves, you should be proud. Pride, the word ignites me. I hurl the soup bowl against the wall. Broth splatters the floral wallpaper, revealing steel beneath. The heartbeat monitor flatlines, then restarts at 120 BPM. Too fast, too human. I am not your experiment. Ralph straightens, cold now. The real man, not the diorama. Are you not? He pulls a tablet from his coat. The screen displays my vitals, heart rate, brain activity, nanite density, my interface design, my fonts. You said you were willing to spend your life advancing this research. You wanted this. The fire, the lab, Jake's hand pulling me, no, pushing me into the flames. Had he known, had I, the memory fractures. The walls pulse crimson, matching my rage. You planned this, what did you tell my family? I whisper. I am giving you what you wanted, Lily. He turns to leave, pausing at the threshold. Rest, thrilling research awaits, and I know you are curious about how this all turns out. The door seals. The room's heartbeat slows, 60 BPM, 55, 50, forcing my body into compliance. I sink to the floor, my back against the vanity. The mirror flickers. Memory integrity, 63%. Recommend stabilization protocol. I close my eyes. The last thing I see is my own face in the firelight, younger, brighter, talking to Ralph about my new breakthrough. This is life-changing, I had said, but I did not know how right I was.